Welcome back to Checkmate with Blake. Let's face it, learning endgames is one of the most important things you can do to improve your chess game. However, it's also seen as one of the most boring and tedious things you can do to improve your elo. So, I'm going to be introducing a new series for you guys. It's going to be a weekly series. And once a week, we're going to post a short in-game video that's going to kind of help you guys learn some in-game concepts, hopefully make it entertaining, and kind of take down the time that you have to spend to study in-games. So my advice would be just watch one of these videos a week, improve your end games, and improve your elo as a result. Before I jump right into the video, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much. I've got a few new subscribers the last few days. I really appreciate it. We're a very small channel, so all of it really helps a lot to help grow the channel overall. And I want to make content that you all really want to see. So if you guys want to see opening videos, request a certain opening. If you want to see the Journey to 2000 series, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out. We're trying to reach 2000 by playing 5-minute games. But if you enjoy that series, go check that out or go leave a comment saying you'd like to see more of that. Or if you want to see more end games, we'll post those as well. But let me know. I'm trying to make the content you guys want to see. But without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. All right, so as you can see here, this is on chess.com. You can actually go over here and go to Endgames, and you can play some Endgames, find things like this. It's a scenario we're going to practice through. We're playing against the maximum bot here, and we're going to start from beginner lessons to more complicated lessons. So the first thing I want to teach you guys about is actually called opposition. It's when the kings are facing each other. So notice right now, the kings are facing each other, and it's white's move. This is a win because obviously we're going to push this pawn, and then after black goes here, we'll push again. They have an escape square. We'll push forward and we'll promote. And I'll show all this in just a second. But why is it so important that the king is in opposition in front of the pawn? Because let's say that you were like this. This is a draw. Notice we can't make progress. If we push now, we cannot actually go forward. And actually, this king is going to do something called triangulation, which I'm going to show here. So if we go forward now, again, we can't make progress. And if we run away from the pawn, they're simply going to grab it. I'll show that here. Well, I guess they're not going to go forward. But they're doing this thing called triangulation, if you've noticed, which is basically they're wasting a move, is what they're doing essentially. So we'll go back a little bit. Let's see what happens right here. So they go forward, back, to the side, and then after I move, they go forward again, or they go here because it's a stalemate. But it's triangulation, which is essentially just wasting a move. It's when they go here, here, and back forward again. There's no way to make progress in this position, obviously, as shown by the analysis. So the correct way to play this, actually, is, I'm going to go back to the starter position, is actually to just push this pawn, and after they go away, push it again, and make a queen. Now that may seem very simple, but I'm going to show it in another position to show opposition here. So what's the move here? If you try to push the pawn, notice that this king is just going to simply catch it. So instead you take opposition, and then you go here. Obviously they can't take opposition against you simply because the pawn covers. And now in this position, it would be a mistake to actually push here. Notice it's a miswin, it's a draw. Simply because now we give them the chance to take opposition. Again, opposition is just one square in between the kings so that they cannot go next to each other. And now, again, we can't make progress because if you push here, if they go here, it's a stalemate. Just want to point that one out. So in this position, the key is to take opposition again. You take opposition, take it again, and now when they go here, notice now when we push, they can't take opposition against us, and they have to run. We give them an escape square. Now when we push, we can make a queen. The third lesson, although it says it's the third most difficult in this series, this is, in my opinion, the most challenging concept to understand. Because if you try to, obviously we know that we can't push forward, but if you try to, let's say, go around and grab this pawn, notice it's a blunder. And if we try it, when we get to here, what do? We can't protect our pawn, and if we run away, they're going to take our pawn and win the game. We could hold this with perfect play, but if you try to go forward, notice now it's a completely lost game. So what is the solution in this position? If you go back here, again, it's a blunder because they take opposition, and now we have no chance to get closer to this pawn. And as I showed, if you go here, they're simply going to just win this pawn or have a draw in the best case scenario. So the move you have to play in this position, and I would say if you're a beginner, try and go play this this lesson yourself and try to understand these moves, but I'm going to try and explain it in a way that makes sense. So what we do here is we actually go to the side of the board, and the reason we go to the side of the board is our king now shields the king from coming over here, and this pawn shields this one. So now, let's see, in this position, you could play here, and look, the reason behind here is also, again, we're shielding the king. And you could argue that the king could go here, but then we're going to go here, and cut off the king again, and then they're gonna have to play that move, and we're gonna capture the pawn. So here, what's the move? As I've been saying this whole video, you have to take opposition. So you go here, which is intended to shield the king again away. So this puzzle on this one specifically is more about shielding the king away, and just using your king to kind of force the other king to make bad moves. Now when you play this move, they have to go here to protect the pawn, or we would win it. We take opposition again, shield the king away, and then we take. Now when we take, we can just go here and simply promote this pawn all the way to a queen. The fourth lesson, this is also more complicated because if you try to push, notice it's a blunder. It's a lost game, and you might look at this and say, how is that a lost game? Well, let's say you try to push all the way. Notice we're going to get in this position, and if you try to make progress here, like let's say we're trying to push the king all the way up the board, and notice we are. Again, you're going to get to this position, which is similar to the first. If you don't understand this, go watch the first part of this video, because again, the king cannot make progress. And now this move's tricky. If we push here, notice, look, it's a stalemate because the king cannot move anywhere. So instead, in this position, if you push, well, they're going to go here. And again, the first part of this video explains this. You have no move. You run away, they take the pawn. If you go here, it's simply a stalemate. So we go back to the first position. The move you have to play is actually going to the side. And the reason you're going to the side, I'm going to try and illustrate that. So here, if you were to play this move, notice again, it's a blunder because you're allowing the opponent to take opposition. Again, opposition in King Endgames is the most important thing to understand because here, what do? We can't make progress. If we push the pawn, it's a very similar situation. So instead, you go here and now, well, they're going there now, so maybe you could consider. But anyways, just for the sake of the video, you're going to push, go here, and if we go here, it's a mistake. They take opposition. So instead, I would argue you could play this move here. And then just go ahead and push the pawns here because notice the king can't take it. So the moral of this one here is actually get your king next to the promotion square if you can. So if you were to play, like let's say here, it works the same way, but only because we can take opposition. If you're noticing the theme of this lesson, it's about opposition, and then we simply promote. This last one, I think, is just a lesson you have to understand. It's more of like a tactic that you just must know when you have these three pawns. Because notice, the king is actually shielding us from reaching our pawns first. Also, we have three pawns against three pawns. So how is this a win for white? Well, if it was, if you look at this position, and you try to decide what can you play. Well, if you decide to go here thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll go here and they'll take. Well, notice after we take, there's no progress. See, it's a blunder. And same goes this way. And obviously you might be thinking, well, maybe they'll mess up and push a pawn like, well, it's not working. Push a pawn like this and we'll take, but that's not what they're going to play. They're going to take, and then we're going to just be stuck with even pawns. Instead, you have to actually sacrifice all three pawns. You push. Now notice they've created this file that our pawn could push, but this pawn is blocking. So instead, we push this pawn now. And of course, if they had not taken, let's say they take here, we're just going to take and promote. And if they do nothing, again, we're going to take and we're going to promote. So instead, they have to take this pawn. And now after they take, we simply push our pawn all the way up the board. And just for the sake of this one, because it's a little more complicated, because I do have three pawns that could win, I'm going to try and convert this for you guys. The simplest thing I would see is just try to win these pawns. So first, go ahead and give this check, win this pawn. Win this pawn. And now, a very easy way to understand, I'm kind of glad they played this way just so I can show it. Well, again, notice our queen is shielding off this king. So what you can play, just to make it simple, is just play a move like this. Because now notice, whenever they try to make progress, like their king is never going to get close to protect this pawn. Now we just bring our king in. Let's just do something like this, and we capture the pawn, and we win the game. So I hope you guys found this video pretty enjoyable. Again, this is just a short lesson on endgames. My advice is watch these once a week, improve your endgames. Hopefully, this will allow you to avoid hours of endgame study by trying to show this in a video sort of format. But if you enjoyed this comment, feel free to subscribe, give me some likes, comments. Again, it all really helps, and I really appreciate all of your support in this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you.